Hello again, beautiful people, and happy December. Here we are nearing the end of another calendar year, and today I am excited to be talking about the gunas. The gunas are the three modes of nature when we're speaking in yogic philosophy terms. They are the fundamental forces that are constantly interacting with one another that make up our material universe, our experience. Literally everything that we can conjure in our minds has the qualities of the gunas. And so the gunas, there's three of them. They're also sometimes referred to as the Trinity, which makes a lot of sense and which maybe will make more sense at the end of this video for you as well. But these three modes are sattva, which when you translate this, it means equilibrium, stillness, maintenance, calmness, harmony, goodness. Sattva will promote health, contentment, and energy, and consciousness and awareness. We have rajas, which can translate to expansion, movement, creation. It's associated with passion and activity, and this can be positive or negative. However, when we think of the gunas as a whole, they're neither good nor bad, but we still have to explain them in some way, and the way that we explain things is generally through duality. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But the third one is tamas. And tamas translates to contraction, inertia, destruction. It is associated with ignorance or laziness. It can cause dullness and kind of hide our awareness or hide our consciousness. Rajas will do that too. Like I was saying, there's positive and negative. So what does this all mean and why is this useful? Well, like I was saying, everything that we experience in our life has these qualities. And we can associate everything that we do with one of these three qualities or these three modes of nature. And the goal, of course, as always, is to reach that level of goodness, harmony, calm, ease, contentment of sattva. But what do we do and how do we get there becomes the question. And it always starts with awareness. So where are you right now? And you can use these three modes of nature to help you distinguish or discern where you are in your life and where you're spending the most time. So again, neither rajas or tamas are good nor bad, but it's about being aware of how much time you're spending in these energies and what potentially you may need to take action on to move more toward the sattva. You can almost think of it like a progression through the gunas as well. When we notice or realize that we're in tamas, we can move through rajas and then ultimately create sattva. When tamas is dominant, a person or you may be filled with heaviness, darkness, sadness, confusion, lethargy, and we can often get stuck in these places. In fact, it is sometimes a little bit too easy, unfortunately, to get stuck in tamas. When we notice that we're stuck in tamas, there's an opportunity to utilize the energy of rajas to get us out, to get us unstuck. And I use the word utilize very intentionally here because rajas also has a lot to do with egoic desires. And sometimes when we are really stuck in a place, it takes a lot of motivation or a lot of desire or attraction or sometimes even force to get out of it. So that thing that we're going to be working towards or desiring in our life can sometimes be created out of the ego. And okay, what do we do with that now? Again, maybe that thing is helping us move. It's helping us get out of the stagnation of tamas. It's helping us build a passion and a desire and movement and activity around something new. So we move more into that Rajas energy. And then once we're there, again, it's not about getting stuck in Rajas either, but it's about bringing awareness, bringing discernment around this new energy and the decisions that we're making and why we're making those decisions, so we can move the whole thing more towards that sattva, towards the goodness and the harmony. Again, going back to that word utilize, it's like a searching function of Rajas, but it will eventually lead beyond the desire for things of the transient, of the things of the physical world. When we're really honest with ourselves in what our actions are cultivating and what we're working toward. In my last video, I talked a lot about beyond pleasure and about how a lot of our pleasures of the world are very temporary and very transient. So this fits here as well, where when we notice that Rajas is actually now dominating our energies, we notice that there's an attraction arising more and more from our ego, when we're driven by restlessness or an uncontrollable desire to pursue constant activity and potentially for greedy or for selfish reasons, like we're out of balance. And it will take self-awareness and consciousness to discern that we're out of balance, obviously, to notice that we're out of balance and then choose to do something about it. So again, going back to that, okay, well, what do I do about it? How does this work? Is just being aware enough? Well, sometimes that will depend. It will depend on how you function as a human being. It will depend what motivates you. It will depend on how you take action and what ultimately brings you joy and success in your life. Some people work really well on a schedule. Some people don't. I am one of the people that do, and I notice if I'm ever stuck in tamas or I'm just feeling stagnant in any area of my life, I know that something needs to give, something needs to shift. And the way that I quite literally force myself to do things is to put it out in writing, whether that's in my calendar, my Google Calendar, or if it's in my journal, or if it's making a list that I get to check off. All of those things really satisfy my brain, and I know that it gets me moving. And when I get moving, I can then get the feedback from that movement and from those activities to discern what actually is bringing me joy, what is working, what isn't, what I want to hold on to, what I want to let go of. And I can intentionally make choices from there. And that's really what this is all about. This is all about choices. Life is about choices. We have an opportunity every moment of the day to make choices. Are we making those choices toward sattva, toward harmony, toward good, calmness, contentment, to promote health, or are we not? What this isn't about, though, is shame. I know it's in our human nature to feel bad or to feel poorly about the way that we have not hit our goals, or we didn't show up in this way today, or we failed to hit the gym twice this week, whatever it is, every day this week. You know, we set these sometimes very unrealistic goals for ourselves too. Almost, I don't know. To me, it's like, why are we sabotaging ourselves? Why do we sabotage ourselves in this way? When instead we can just zoom out a little bit, pull back, and just look, be the observer, be the witness of your own life. So you're not so immersed in it. Zoom out and actually choose. How do I want to spend my time? How do I want to spend my energy? I know not everything is in our control. We all have jobs that we need to attend to. We have tasks. We have families and children and partners and responsibilities. But again, those are all still choices. You get to choose how you want to show up to those activities and to those things in your life. And the more that we can lean into the sattva And the more that we can understand that we can utilize, again, here's this word, it's very intentional, utilize the gunas for our overall good, perhaps the more clear our choices can become. Even if we're leaning towards sattva, doesn't mean that we live there forever, right? Everything is in balance. These three are always constantly interacting with one another. Similar to the doshic energies of pitta, kapha, and vata. So the goal here is never to not be in tamas. We need to rest. Rest is also productive and rest is necessary. In the kosha course that I teach, one of the concepts I love to talk about is how all human beings were made to move, to create, and to rest. Or perhaps more aptly, in comparison to the gunas, we were made to move, to be in flow, and to rest. So we've got rajas, sattva, tamas. Or maybe an even better way of putting it is we were made to do, to rest, and to be. So rajas, tamas, sattva. But you can see how these three energies are all interplaying throughout our lives. And it's important that we use these energies for our greatest good. I personally love being in rajas. I am a go-getter. I am a doer. It brings me joy to be in my flow as well. And I am also the person that at the end of the day, once I have expended a lot of my energy, I love to sit on the couch. I love to sit on the couch and stare at the TV. This is my downtime. This is my tamas time. And right now, especially, it's watching all of these cheesy Christmas movies that I just love. I mean, the story is the same. We all know how they go, but they bring me joy. And my girls get into them too, and we can sit and we can cuddle on the couch, and it's downtime. And it's by choice. Very intentional choice. And also, that isn't how I end my day. So one practice that I've really developed over my life, and I don't even notice that it's a practice anymore because it's just part of what I do and how I maintain my own balance, or work on maintaining my own balance. Let's be honest, we're all human. Is having a guna sandwich. And by guna sandwich, I mean at some point in the morning, I want to start my day in sattva. Having young children, that's not always possible right at the start of the day. However, right now, and I'll just speak to my experience today, where, you know, I've got one my youngest is in daycare, my oldest is in grade 1, so she's off at school. I come home, before I dive into my work, I very intentionally set a sacred space. This is me in sattva. And then I'm in my rajas throughout the day. I hit into tamas in the evening, and then I close the day again with some sort of sattva activity. So you see how I've made this sandwich where I've got sattva on one side, sattva on the other. So calmness, goodness, harmony, contentment, intention, peace is one piece of the bread, and at the end of the day, the other piece, and everything else is in the middle. So if you are interested, or if you do feel stuck in some way, like, I invite you to maybe try this practice out for yourself. It's small, it's easy, it's just a choice. Find a peaceful activity. Maybe it's 5, 10, 15 minutes of meditation. Maybe it's an hour of meditation if you've got that kind of time. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's lighting a candle or praying, however that practice, that sattva practice looks for you. And then again in the evening before you lay yourself down to rest. And allow this time to be a little space of reflection too. Maybe even quickly scanning back through your day, being aware and noticing how much you were in rajas, how much you were in tamas, what little activities or moments of your day you got to tune into sattva, and how that felt and how that potentially boosted your mood or helped you feel more grounded. It's all just awareness. It's all just discernment, but we can use this. We can use these to help us make more intentional choices as we move throughout our lives. and ultimately bring us more peace, more ease, more joy. So with that, I hope this brief little explanation of the gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas was helpful for you. I'd love to hear how you use these in your practice or in your life. As always, you can add a comment below or reach out to me. Wishing you all a very beautiful, very abundant, joyful end to 2024. And we will see you again really soon. Bye.